Meegan, I hear you have a cool shelving project for us today.
Yeah, we do. We're gonna take a couple of the old rustic 2x and make them into shelves. And you can use them for storage or decorative purposes.
The wood is the star of this project, and we'll need a few supplies to spruce it up. A palm sander with sandpaper, gloves, a rag, a paintbrush and tray, a wood finish like this polyway, and safety gear. Then to install the shelf, you'll need a drill, level, stud finder, a pencil, and some screws.
And then there's a couple different ways that you can put them on the wall. You can do something simple with these brackets. They're gonna cost you about $1.50 at the hardware store. Or you can get a little more industrial looking and use some pipe fitting pieces, and you can mix and match them in all sorts of different ways. So the first step is gonna be selecting your board. I kind of really liked the fact that there were still nails in this one. I'm a sucker for the story of the old lumber. So we're gonna sand this down. We probably won't really we'll hit the corners where the nails are, but we're not gonna wanna run the sander over that.
What grit would you want to use on a project like this?
We used 80 grit on this, which is pretty strong, but it's just gonna get the really rough stuff off right away. Wood this old was generally cut on a steam-powered sawmill.
Wow. And
so we're looking at like probably 1890s, early 1900s. And so we don't wanna sand down too much so that you don't see that. So we're gonna just wipe this down before we get a coating on it. So our shelf is good to go. The next thing we're gonna do is apply a coating of Vermont Natural Coatings on here. It's a polyway and it's low VOC, which is really great. You can apply this in the house, it's not gonna stink. Okay, so this has had just over an hour to dry, and we're gonna give it a light sanding just by hand. With a low grit paper, 220 will work.
Why do we want to sand it in between another coat?
It's just gonna give it a nice finish. It'll be nice and smooth. Any imperfections will get covered up.
After sanding, we coat her up one more time with the polyway and let her dry. Just a little bit of work went a long way on this old board, and I thank Meegan for keeping this project on the easy side. A few days later, I head to the Ace Craftsman workshop, where a familiar face is ready to help me install my new shelf.
And we're gonna go ahead and use our trusty stud finder.
Okay, nice job, let's mark that.
What I'd like to do is position these flanges on the wall, and I wanna mark where the screws are gonna go. Okay? But the tricky thing is we have to get the shelf on top of the pipes, and we have to make sure that we're putting the shelf level.
Okay, we're gonna drive a screw right through the flange into the stud.
After a few more screws, we place our wood on the brackets and we have ourselves a nice little shelf. Not bad for a couple hours worth of work and $20 worth of supplies.